Hi everyone, my name is Veronica Manuel and I'm with FREQS. Today I'm going to show you how to create your own custom trading strategy for use with an algorithmic crypto trading bot that you created using the open source project Freqtrade on GitHub. So we're going to get started by navigating using our favorite IDE to the strategies subfolder of our ft_user data directory, and we're going to click on our sample strategy. So the sample strategy class name here is what is defined in our docker-compose.yml file. And for this tutorial, I want us to create a combined strategy that uses both our sample strategy and one that I got off of the Freqtrade strategies repo, which I'll show you how to navigate to as well. So let's create a copy of our sample strategy in the strategies folder by copy and pasting it and renaming it to combined_strategy. Okay, and the class name has to be different. So I'm going to write combined strategy, and it's camel cased here. So I'm going to type it exactly the same way in my docker-compose.yml file. Okay, before I forget. Cool. So I want to show you some of the key highlights of a strategy and how we can toggle them to effectively create our own strategy that is customized to our trading wants and needs. So one of the first things that I would like to show you, if we scroll down, is to discuss the minimal ROI. So our minimal ROI is the percentage gain that we want to achieve through a certain time frame of minutes. So between 0 and 30 minutes, we want to achieve a 4% return on investment on a trade before we close out. Between 30 and 60 minutes, we want to achieve a 2% gain, and beyond 60 minutes, we want a 1% gain. And the logic here is that as time goes on from when we opened a trade, the probability of us making money at a large ROI diminishes over time. So we're happy getting a smaller ROI past 60 minutes than we were in the beginning. Maybe the volatility indicates that we should be able to get 4%. Okay, so I would like to change these all to 1% across the board because I am perfectly happy gaining 1% a trade, trade after trade after trade after trade, to have a snowballing effect on my dry run wallet. So the stop loss is currently set to 10%, and that is a large stop loss for a minimal ROI of 1%. So because my return on investment is low, my stop loss should be smaller too, because I could lose a lot of money but only be gaining a small amount, right? So I'm going to change this to 3% stop loss. And at the time frame variable, I am going to change this from 5 minutes to 15 minutes. So this is the time frame of the candles. So typical time frames are 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour. However, your time frame needs to be compatible with your exchange. So let's say you want to use 4-hour candles. Well, if your exchange doesn't support 4-hour candles, then it won't work. So just double check with your exchange that a 15-minute or whatever time frame that you choose will work. So I'm going to choose 15-minute candles. And I'm scrolling past some of these plotting, subplots and main plots configurations, and we'll use those later in the next video. And I'm in the function populate_indicators, where we have a lot of exotic and popular indicators available to us to use in our strategy. So I'm going to scroll past a lot of these and point out the ones that we're going to use today. So we're going to use Bollinger Bands. We're going to use triple exponential moving average. And we're going to use Heikin Ashi candles under chart type. So I need to uncomment the Heikin-Ashi candles that I would like to use, the data for the Heikin-Ashi candles that I would like to use. I would like to use the open and closing values of the candles. For this example, I'm not too concerned with the high and the low values of those candles. So these first 3 lines are what I uncommented. Okay, scrolling down to the populate entry trend and populate exit trend. These are the functions where you're going to define the conditions, the trading signals that you need to satisfy to buy and sell currency pairs. So the first is enter long, the second is enter short. I'm not interested in shorting, so I'm just going to keep the enter long. And I'm also going to delete the exit short. Okay, so I would like to read to you this logic so that we can toggle and tweak this to our liking, and so that you feel a little bit more after the end of this video that you have learned something about the logic in our strategies. So real quick, the first line of code here is saying that when the RSI crosses above 30, so typical trading wisdom tells us to buy when the RSI is below 30, but we want to see an upward momentum. So when the RSI crosses above 30, that's seen as a bullish indicator, and the triple exponential moving average of our current candle is less than or equal to our middle Bollinger Band, and the triple exponential moving average of the current candle is greater than the triple exponential moving average of the previous candle. Okay, so shift 1 is how we indicate the previous candle. Shift -1 should never be used because that's to indicate the future candle, and we don't have that data. So shift 1, talking about the previous candle, the TEMA we want to be for the current candle larger than that of the previous candle so that it's rising. And of course, we want to make sure that the volume is not 0, that the volume is greater than 0. And similarly for the exit trend, we have similar metrics, except that the RSI, when it goes above 70, that's when we need to start looking at selling. So at this point, I want to show you another strategy and how we are going to combine it with our entry and exit trends. So on our GitHub our docs for the Freqtrade project, they're located at freqtrade.io, and on the left-hand menu, click Strategy Customization. And under Develop Your Own Strategy, there is a link to the strategy repo for Freqtrade. This is super cool because you get access to a bunch of sophisticated and simple strategies that you can tweak, you can hyper optimize, and use as you like. I don't recommend that you put live money on the line before hyper parameter optimizing and observing the bot trade with that strategy for a while. So just know that these strategies are available to you, but probably don't, you may not want to put real money on the line immediately. So let's go to the user_data directory and the strategies subfolder. And this is where you can see all of the strategies that are given to you in the Freqtrade strategies repo. Super cool. And I want to download or just peek into the strategy 001 strategy. And let me zoom in here. Okay, so scrolling down to the entry and exit trends, you'll see that this strategy uses Heikin-Ashi candles. Heikin-Ashi candles remove a little bit of the noise in the trading signals so that we can look at more macroscopic trends. So they're great to pair with more macro indicators. So here, when we have a golden cross, when the EMA 20 crosses above the EMA 50, and the Heikin-Ashi close, which should be the top of the green candle, right? Because this is a bullish indicator. When the Heikin-Ashi close is greater than the EMA 20, and the Heikin-Ashi open value, the bottom of the candle, is smaller than the Heikin-Ashi close, right? When the closing price is above the open price, we have a green bar. So I like this line of code here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it over this volume greater than 0, because I'm currently trading the top 20 pairs by volume, I find this to be not a super useful line of code. Of course, the volume should be greater than 0. You can leave it there if you want. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this RSI crossing above 30 because this is probably the rate limiting step in this strategy for seeing a lot of buying and selling of trades. So it may take a while for the RSI to cross 30 in a lot of the currency pairs, but I want to see the bot entering and exiting pairs right away. So I'm going to just delete this line here. And similarly, delete the RSI crossing above 70 from the exit trend. And I'm going to copy and paste that Heikinashi red bar here, this line of code saying that the opening of the candle is greater than the close of the candle, then we want to sell. When the open of the candle is greater than the closing price, then there was money lost during the day. So that's a red bar. And I'm just going to paste that over the volume being greater than 0. Okay, so now we have a strategy that we custom tailored to what we want. This is one of so many examples that you could create for creating a custom strategy. Now, to implement our strategy, I'm going to open up Telegram and the terminal. And we need to spin our bot up. Now, there is a Freqtrade command that we can use. The base of the command for the command line is Freqtrade. Freqtrade trade -- strategy is not recommended. It's recommended to use Docker -compose down and Docker -compose up to bring down the bot properly and bring it up properly with the strategy that we want to use. So my bot, let me check out the Docker desktop. My bot is down, so I want to bring it up. And let me bring Telegram to the front here. Docker -compose up -d. Okay, and in Docker desktop, the container is up and running. Pretty soon in Telegram, we should be seeing that our bot is using the combined strategy. Yes, it is, because that's what we defined in our docker-compose.yml file. You can see our ROI is 1% across the board, our stop loss is 3%, and it's finding already with the little blue circle. This is how you know it's entering trades. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned a lot about how to create a custom strategy. Feel free to pause, rewind, check out my strategy, and copy it if you want. The next video is going to be about how to hyper optimize your strategy so that it minimizes risk and maximizes profit. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed what you saw.